Due to the dynamic nature of tabletop RPGs, topics that may be discussed or played in these games are not suitable for all audiences. The level of content maturity is considered 16 plus. Your discretion is advised. Okay, guys. So, Wizards of some Coast made some changes. They're coming out with 5th edition version 2, or 5th edition 5.1, or 5.25, or 5.5, whatever. No one has attached themselves to a name yet, including Wizards. So I'm just going to call it D&D 5e 2024. Currently, we're playing with 2014. That's when the original came out, and it's been 10 years since. So they've made some patches. I don't expect you guys to know all of the changes. I, in fact, don't know all of the changes. I've just heard things here and there. And there are some things I don't like, and there are some things that I like. But I wanted to talk just in general about what's going to be happening as these new rulebooks come out. Player's Handbook comes out in September. Dungeons Master's Guide, I believe, comes out November, and then the Monster Manual comes out December. I think that's how they did it. And with these, there's going to be a lot of changes, and I do, in fact, intend to implement these for the game going forward. One, in part because they're going to keep making future content, and I want this to be as future-proof as possible. So, in order to do that, I'm going to have to, in millennial terms, I guess, get with the times. I have to get with the times. So, the changes we're going to be seeing are probably going to be piecemeal. I'm not going to do it all at once, because that would be a lot of work, especially since I'm only one person. I don't have a team, and we run a very heavily homebrewed game. So most likely, first off, do you guys know any of the changes that they're going to be addressing?
No.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I think I might be aware of some.
Okay.
Yeah, like I have a feeling for a vibe, and I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna have to wait and listen.
Yeah, so there's some things that I like and some things that I don't, but I'm just going to speak in general, like the biggest things without going into, each race or class, at least from what I've heard, because apparently until it's printed, they're still kind of in the tweaking phase. So just have to wait until I get my hands on that physical book, and then we'll see if there's going to be changes implemented right away. The big change that is going to be for character creation, I know that they're moving the ability scores from races and putting them into backgrounds. So they've fleshed out backgrounds a bit more.
Interesting.
And so I don't think they changed any of the racial features. They just moved the ability score bonuses to the backgrounds rather than having it on races, which is basically how I flavor my games anyway. So that's not really that major of a change for me personally. It just might take some getting used to in the character creation stage. So when that goes live, or when those changes go, we'll look over all of the races. Most likely, I'll be looking at the races that we're playing with, and then seeing if any of those need to be tweaked, and then implement those, and then I'll do in the background all of the other races and see if there's any homebrew that needs to be taken care of because we play a heavily homebrewed game. Yeah, what's up?
So does this mean that our stats are going to be changing even though we already made our characters?
Potentially yes, potentially no.
Okay, follow-up question.
Yeah.
Because this is, I think, probably what I'm most afraid of. What if there's a class change that I really, really despise? Like, I, for example, heard that the next D&D wizard is not great, and I don't know if that's what this is, and it makes me nervous.
Yeah, I'm not going to make you beholden to any of the stuff that's in right now. So the only hard line is going to be between magical classes and tech classes. So unfortunately, Darwin gets the short end of the stick here. If you wanted to do a class change, you can only pick from the tech classes. But for everyone else, you guys are playing magical classes. So if you really don't like the changes, I'm going to be allowing respecs when the class implementation stuff happens.
Okay.
Races, probably I'm not going to allow like full racial change, right? We're not going to make you go from human to an orc.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see what the features and stuff are. Most likely the ability scores won't have to change. But I want to see how they're doing it in the book. If it's different from +2/+1 or +1/+1/+1. If there's any differences in how they are implementing those stat changes in accordance with like your skills. There's a lot of little things that I have to read up on and look at. But ultimately, I'm hoping the ability scores, they're just leaving it as like the base, +2/+1, etc., etc. So potentially they're not going to change. The ability scores probably are not going to change. But again, if there is going to be like class changes, I'm not going to keep you beholden to like you have to keep your scores the same either. So when we do the shuffle, just keep in mind that there's going to be a lot of moving parts.
Okay.
So once again,
Sounds like there's flexibility though, which is
yeah,
nice.
I'm gonna make it as flexible as possible because I don't want you to have like you made your characters with the intent of using the 2014 rules, and if there's stuff that doesn't work with your character now, well then it's not gonna be good. I'm not gonna make you play with a character that you're not gonna like, and that might potentially mean just new character roll up. So, I mean, I'm gonna leave that up to you, obviously, but there's gonna be opportunity to change stuff around. That's not gonna be an issue. The race is probably one of the things that I'm not going to allow to be changed, simply because that would be weird.
Yeah, I don't want to change my race.
Also, they're changing race to species, which I find a little strange and interesting that they chose to change the wording. I didn't think that was an issue ever, but I guess someone over there thought it was.
Maybe because there's more than just human like people. So it's like when we think of races, we think like races of people. But like that wouldn't account, I guess, for like, I don't know, like a bugbear player character or some shit.
Yeah, but I mean, I would still consider them people. It gets a little weird and muddy, right? It's a little tricky. But yeah, they are changing that specific keyword, I suppose I should say. I think I heard, I don't have confirmation on this. I think I heard that they're doing away with half races because the implication of them was that they were always going to be half human, half something. So instead, they are doing like full races with the ability to like custom lineage. And I don't know if they've also amplified custom lineage for Tasha's, which I think they should because it sucks ass. But yeah, the book I think is gonna only have full-blooded races or full-blooded species.
I like half elves.
You could still play a half elf. It's just gonna be a little different than it was before.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, there isn't gonna be like a half elf section in the book. You have to like make a custom raced or custom species half elf.
Sort of like how Star Wars 5e does it.
I have no reference. Never played it.
I see. They have like, I think like a race that's just like like half of any two that are compatible with one another. I
Oh,
forget.
I
There's
see.
some sort of like thing. It's very neat, and like each different one gives you different I guess bonuses to your scores or like your
Yeah.
something like yeah
Yeah.
words. You know what I mean?
That's kind of how I also do mixed races. Like if you were to choose like a custom lineage instead of doing the Tasha's one, I would ask you to pick the actual 2 lineages and then mash up the abilities so that you have good combo of both.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I've always done it. But yeah, aside from that, like none of you here are playing the custom lineage, so not really too worried on that. Just want to let you guys know that that's what I've heard, at least for the species stuff.
Okay.
There's definitely a lot of class changes. I haven't heard a lot of specifics too much. What I have heard is that one change I really hate is that Paladin's Divine Smite is becoming a spell.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. I guess they didn't want smite stacking, which was always going to be a problem, but whatever. But yes, Divine Smite is going to be a spell. And also, the change that I actually like is weapon masteries. So every weapon has like a different kind of attribute to it. So for example, like if you had a great club, you could like push people with it every time you attacked. And there's no like charges or anything. They just happen whenever like a trigger happens.
Okay,
there's also like
that's cool.
if you have a dagger, I think that one's called Nick. So if you like miss with an attack, you could like do your attribute modifier in damage instead or something like that. I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of neat things that they're gonna be offering. So there are some good changes. But again, I wanna get my hands on the book before I change all of the classes, because I want to see all of the classes at once. There is also a potential for us not to use the 2024 rules, but that would be across the board. Like we're not doing any changes and just playing it as is.
Okay.
There is the potential for that, but right now I am in the mindset to convert. Most likely when we do the class, we're also going to be converting the backgrounds, because ability score is tied to class or race right now. And since that's already going to be changing first, I want to keep all of the numbers juggled at the same time. So most likely class and background are going to happen at the same time, depending on how much they've really added to backgrounds. Shouldn't be too much of a problem because backgrounds were super simple in 2014. So really it shouldn't be, it should really just be like adding stuff, right? So it shouldn't really be deleting anything, but we'll see. I just have to keep prefacing, we'll see what happens. And I know there are going to be like some spell changes. I think a lot of them are just rewording.
Okay.
But again, have to see. I know they're adding a bunch of stuff. I know they're adding like a couple subclasses to some specific ones. They're definitely going to be adding spells and items and stuff. But yeah, spells are probably going to be after the character creation stuff. So it's going to be spells and then feats, if you guys are having any feats, or if you had like invocations and stuff like that, that would all be taken care of at that time. And then the last thing is going to be like items, in case there are like item changes. I don't think there would be anything in those last categories that would be like too crazy of a change, but we'll see. we'll really just have to see.
Yeah.
What I can talk about is, because we have a Rogan party, one of the changes that I actually like because it gives you options. They're adding like I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically like you can whenever your sneak attack triggers, you can have the option to remove like a number of sneak attack dice to have something else happen. So like when you hit with an attack, you would trigger sneak attack, and then like you could like remove 2 dice and then make them blinded for a turn or something like that.
Oh, that's
Yeah, this does kind of feel like Star Wars 5e, Toby.
yeah. I'm digging this actually. I love Star Wars 5e.
Yeah, so from what I'm hearing, there's a lot of options that are going to be offered, but some changes and tweaks are going to be not cool. Like the Paladin one really sucks. The Druid Wild Shape, when they were doing the playtesting, I hated that. I don't know how different it is now, but the playtest version, I hated that a lot. I know Monk went over like an entire class overhaul. Apparently they just do like better base damage, but I don't know exactly
Ow! But
I don't
monks
know.
are already OP. They're like.
I don't know. Apparently they were underpowered compared to other martial classes. So who knows
Oh
what
my
that's
god.
like.
Oh, they're
I also
gonna-
know Rangers just get Hunter's Mark. You just get a feature that gives you free charges of Hunter's Mark, so it doesn't take away from your spells. Which that one I'm good with. I actually made a subclass to do exactly that, so I might actually be taking out a subclass because that's a thing now. So that's really neat.
Yeah, this is kind of exciting. The more I listen to it, the more like at first I was like, but then like a lot of it just makes it sound like it's
Adding
gonna make it.
options. Now,
Yeah.
the thing that I have to preface, because this is all just stuff I've heard, and the stuff that you hear is obviously the stuff that they want you to hear.
Yeah.
I want to read the book and see what all of the changes are and see if there are any major negatives in there, because that's really going to be the defining factor of, are we going to stay 2014 or are we going to push and convert to the 2024 so that we can use all of the future content as well.
Okay, so this is more like a heads up, but we're
Yeah.
gonna continue doing it how we're doing it now until after you've read the book and made
Right.
the decision. Okay.
Right.
Well, I appreciate the heads up.
Yeah. Obviously, like, I'm gonna be talking with you guys as well, because I do value your input. If you feel like it's gonna be more beneficial to stay 2014, I'm definitely open to talking about that. But I can't really
Okay.
make any decision until I've read the book, you know?
Yeah.
And also, a major part of this falls to, I mentioned before, we play with a huge set of homebrew rules. So whenever I'm doing these changes, I'm changing also like my entire suite of homebrew rules to match the rules that are getting set forth. So when we
Ew.
do like the race change, then I'm going to change all of my races as well to fit the profile of the 2024 book. So
Okay.
in doing so, you know, all of my races will also have no ability modifiers, and then et cetera, whatever. Whatever's in there. Yeah. I feel like I've been rambling.
It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you guys haven't heard much, so this is probably the first time you're hearing about it, maybe. I would implore you guys to check stuff out if you can, but obviously it's not September 10th yet, so the book is not out. I think the embargo for content creators actually talking about what's in the book has been lifted. So I think content for what's officially in the book is gonna start coming out soon.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Yeah. In my other D&D group, like they're really on the ball about shit like that, so they might start posting about stuff soon.
Yeah. I also know, like, I learned today, actually, someone sent me a link that they like overhauled their like crafting downtime section. So I need to see if it's worth any salt, or if I'm gonna have to keep my system, or like do a synergized version between the two. Like, you know, I gotta see. There's a lot. It's supposed to be like 60 more pages than the original PHP. So there's a lot of content in there.
Yeah.
A lot of content. Yeah. So that's the housekeeping that I wanted to talk about. I know it's a lot, but I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more, honestly. Like, if it's as much like Star Wars 5e as it sounds, that's really great. Because I like Star Wars 5e better than 5e, but I love 5e. I don't know.
I can't comment because I've never played it.
It's like hell. I'll just let you know that I love it.
Okay.
Like, not even for Star Wars themed games, though. I don't really care for those, I noticed. But just as a system.
That's good. Amazing.
Yup.
Right. So, do you guys have any further questions about how I'm going to be handling stuff?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's too soon, I think.
Too soon. It's a whole month
Too
early.
soon. Yeah, no one's read the shit yet. Like, it's too soon to have questions.
Yeah.
But if I think of any, I'll ask you.
Yeah. I still felt it was the right thing to do to let you guys know, and also to be forward with the audience, how I'm going to be doing stuff like this, because rules changes like this don't happen all the time. Like, content book might come out, but usually that's merely additive, not change a whole fucking class. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Anyways, dang, I've been rambling for a while. We should play some game.
We should play some game.
Let's play. I like don't.
Let's go.
I haven't played D&D long enough to understand any of these changes. So as you guys are like talking about it, I'm like nodding my head and just like smiling.
It's also gonna make less sense because your entire deal is homebrewed. So you're probably gonna get the least amount of changes.
Well, that's good for you. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very new friendly, which I like.
No matter what, though, if any class change is being allowed, it will be locked into like and kind, right? So.
No.
So if I want to be a warrior instead of a wizard?
Yeah. Change your stats around, change your class.
Oh, alright, well, hell.
Cool, okay.
Like, you made the character with a very specific intent. If that intent is gone now because of a change that was not for me or you, then you should play something that you wanted to play.
I see.
The only thing is, like, I can't... I would have to have you have the same species. And also, now that I'm thinking about it, I can't really change your history, right? All the stuff that we talked about before the game, like, that's probably gonna stay the same. But yeah, like, other shit, that's just numbers on paper.
Gotcha.
That's good. I appreciate that flexibility.
It's necessary if we are to progress.
I'm also here.
Okay. So, last time, you guys returned to the city, back into the hustle and bustle of daily life. For Ryia, that meant being completely disconnected from your past. Even though, as you reconnected all of your devices, the silence was a welcome surprise compared to all of the blaring and blipping going on in everyone else's devices. And it also meant catching up on some guild activities. figuring out what you can do, and also planning to take your goods back to the guild hall. See if you can get those bags of holding created. For Shell, this goes on to the opposite. So tired, goes immediately to bed, pissed off that you missed an opportunity to get a one-of-a-kind legendary first edition 3P. You don't know when you'll get a chance like this ever again. Zeneca also agreeing to go to a dinner with their parents and their neighbors. Makes it there, but also finds out that their sister has not really been in contact. Goes over to their home, can't really get in contact with them, and then goes over to their workplace to find out they've had a serious workload lately. And also seems like they don't talk about their family much at work. And then, of course, lastly, Darwin, you go to have dinner with your parents, and your parents be parenting, and you find it very hard to concentrate as your memories are getting mixed up and integrated with Damien's, and you don't know what's what. You go to bed early that night after dinner as well. Monday comes around, it's Severance Day, the observance of Severance Day. Darwin and Zeneca go into the office. Not many people around, but for the people there are, Darwin's already taking care of the catering, and everyone has a very nice, luxurious meal for the day. Excuse me. You guys run down details about what you've learned, and specifically regarding Bobanthony's apartment and your alarm going off. Timing was too close-knit to have been someone that, by chance, entered that apartment. Had to be someone you know, and you pinpoint all of the details down to Kara, who just so happens to be your date this night. As you guys go to a dinner and a movie, your thoughts are on this fact before what is it? The old Asian proverb: if you sneeze, then someone is thinking about you. And Ryia does like thoughts and prayers into space, and then Darwin has a good date.
There's like a million different versions, but generally, yes, it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why it was the one like for one prayer sort of thing.
Right. And that basically is Monday. We're coming down to the end of that day, and yeah, Ryia, you wanted to go check out the guild hall, right?
Correct.
All right.
So I go.
Yeah, so what did you want to do at the guild hall?
I'll try and see if I can do anything with these materials I found.
Are you going to be crafting the bags yourself, or looking for someone to do it? How are you handling this?
What do I know about crafting and what it would require?
Crafting is
Can
just
I even
something
do
that
it?
everyone has available to them. I need to ask if you have a profession.
Hold on. Let me check the old notes. Not in those notes. Not in those notes. Huh. Hold on, I know I wrote it down somewhere. Description. Here we go. I'm proficient with cooking utensils, jeweler's tools, and tinker's tools.
All three, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Cooking utensils, jeweler's tools, and tinker's tools?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
I
Very
remember I
interesting.
wanted to do crafting for this game because it got really interesting with Breck towards the end of the last one.
So you actually have both crafting professions under the umbrella of being a trinket smith.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, goodness. Where were those rules? I think I made them separate somewhere. So in just for everyone here, I'm playing with rules that fall under crafting umbrellas. For example, the cook's utensils and the brewer supplies both fall under the blanket of brewsmiths. And you have all of the professions under a umbrella. You get bonuses, which is what I'm trying to find.
Hooray!
Yeah, I know I wrote it down somewhere. Did I write it in this one and not in the crafted one? That would suck.
Is it this thing? I posted in the Discord.
No, I already checked that one. Okay, I don't know where I put it, but I know I did something about it, so we're just gonna roll with it. Okay, so you're trying to make bags of holding. I could definitely see this being falling under like a trinket of some sort. People usually wear it around their belt or sash, right? This is, however, a magic item, so it's going to be quite expensive to make. The worms themselves... so, first off, in order to make a bag of holding, you will need half of the market value in supplies in order to craft that item. So, because a bag of holding is 50,000 credits, or 500 gold pieces, it's an uncommon item, you'll need 250 gold pieces, or 25,000 credits worth of materials in order to make it. Those worms will account for 20,000.
Okay.
So if you wanted to make 4, then you would need to find some extra materials. You can, however, cannibalize one of them and then finish 3 if you'd like, but you'd be wasting some of the materials. So you can see how this is kind of pushing and pulling, right?
Okay. I'll approach, I guess, Shell about business expensing this. Like, not even really joking, it's like it would be an immense use for, like, a team to each have bottomless inventory, roughly. And she'll frame it like that as she asks Shell.
I don't think he'd mind. Would money cover the cost that we don't have in material, though?
You won't know
Or
until
am I
you charge your
misunderstanding?
credit chip.
Yeah, but what am I charging it to, kind of thing? Like, there
Yes.
would be a process to this.
You're basically just buying supplies. So, like, you're just going on to the online supply store and then getting supplies.
Okay. Yeah. I was wanting to bring them back anyway, so if she wouldn't have brought them, I would have grabbed them, so it's totally fine. He'll pay for that.
Okay. That's gonna be a charge of 20,000 credits on your chip.
Yup.
Okay.
Naughty.
You go to charge your credit chip, and it says transaction completed. Your supplies are arrived like within are going to be arriving within the day. And
I see what you did, you bitch.
What?
Made me thinking I'm poor for a second.
No,
Yeah,
I had
you had
to-
fun with that one.
I had to. What do you? I had to do the math myself. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh yeah. So yeah, at night, all of the supplies would arrive at Shell's place. You could definitely start the crafting process if you'd like. This is going to require time. It's not going to be something that you can finish in one day because it's an uncommon item. Let me tell you what you need.
Okie doke.
Could I help somehow?
Are you a profession of some sort?
A disguise kit, probably.
Yes, you can help. But first, let me lay out exactly what you need. So you have the material costs, right? You have the 25,000 per bag of holding that you have available now. You need a certain amount of spell energy to imbue and fold and temper the magic in order to sustain it permanently. So you'll need in total 5 second level spell slots to be imbued into the item.
Okay.
So again, this doesn't have to be over a single day, but if you can finish it in a day, man, kudos.
I can do 2 second levels.
Could provide 2, but that's much
could
as
we
I could.
do like first levels in addition?
Let me see.
Like 2
Yeah,
first levels?
Yeah, like
for
do
one.
a certain number of first level spells equate to a second level spell. Although, to be honest, I don't think it matters. I think we got it, because I could use Arcane Recovery as a short rest during the day to, like, recover a second level spell slot, and that would be our 5th one.
True. And I also have sorcery points.
I mean, yeah, I didn't write anything about it, so I don't see why not. Now, did you want to make, like, one bag at a time? Or did you want to work on all at the same time?
Was there a downside to working on them all at the same time?
Kind of?
I'll make them one at a time.
Okay. So the way this works is, like, every working day... it's actually probably better if you do it one at a time. Every working day, you get to roll, and using your profession, that roll will go directly into how much of the materials you've used into the final craft of the item. So it's a process to get everything completed. And then on top of that, once you've used all of the materials, there is a completion check. So you'll need to hit a DC. And if you don't hit the DC, it basically is like, okay, I don't have the finishing touches done, just put it to tomorrow. There's no, like, loss of materials unless you roll a nat 1.
Okay.
Now, with the finishing DC, if you roll a nat 20, then you have created a masterwork craft. So, you could opt to, at the finishing step, even if you make the DC, opt to continue working on it to get the Masterwork Craft. The Masterwork Craft is basically an item that is of the same tier, but like leagues above what the normal item could do. What is an example of this? If you had, like, a short sword, normally deals 1d6 damage. Instead, it'll deal 2d3 damage. So the minimum is raised, so you're dealing more consistent minimum damage, right?
Gotcha.
If you have, like, armor, it will still provide the armor bonuses, but now it's going to soak up some of the minimum damage that you're taking in, so you're overall still just taking less damage. In terms of, like, a consumable, like a healing potion, Masterwork Healing Potion is always going to give you maximum healing, no matter what.
Cool.
So a 2d4 plus 2 always heals 10 with a Masterwork Potion. So, while it might take a while, because you do have to roll that natural 20, sometimes you might want to go for it depending on the item.
Yeah.
Now, until you discover those items or create one yourself, I cannot tell you what the Masterwork qualities do for every specific one. Those are just some general ones that I've given you. easily
That's exciting.
able to be found. But they are always going to be the same rarity, but just better. Better everything with everything going on with the
Yeah.
Tell it like it is.
Yeah. So, let's see.
I would probably confirm right off the bat that Ryia would probably try and make the first 3 normal, but she'd try and masterwork the one for herself. And that's not even purely selfishness, it's just like after trying for 3 times to craft something, maybe you get a little spicy, maybe you want to try something.
Yeah. I do
Yeah,
have to
and you
say,
don't have
like,
to worry.
once you accept the finishing, you can't masterwork it later. It's got to be
Right.
during the craft. Yeah, yeah. And just in
Right.
case
So
that
it's
wasn't
like
mentioned.
I'd be going without a bag of holding until I succeeded or failed.
Yeah, which
And if I
is
fail, I can just
fine.
try again.
Unless it's a nat 1.
Yeah, then
unless
you
it's a
lose
nat
some
one.
material. Yeah.
Okay. And then I can still try again, I just have to replace the material.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's
Cool,
not
cool,
the
cool.
worst. Okay,
This
cool.
isn't
That's
so bad.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
and you have help too somehow.
Yeah. So
like
the main
it.
part of this is the actual crafting part because it's probably going to take you a number of days to finish a project because you have to consume all of those materials in order to complete the craft, right? So, Shell, you said you were a disguise kit profession?
Yeah, I believe so.
Disguise kit. It should really be under 2 of these. Disguise kit falls under artsmiths and clothsmiths, and since you're working with pouch-like material, I'll allow
Holy
you to help
shit.
here.
Hell
Holy
yes.
Shit. Wait, Shell. Let me make sure I understand this right. You're good at hiding and disguising, so you can make bags. Hey, I'm down for
Yes.
it, man. Come on over. I need help.
Oh, what's not to understand?
No, you're right. When you explain it like that, it does make... I just didn't think about it like that. Not making fun of you, Sam. I'm just trying to...
No, yeah.
I'm just trying to...
I didn't take it that way at all.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Let me go over one more thing here. So, for every day that you keep this craft going, you'll have to imbue the minimum spell slot level into it. So in the Bags of Holding case, like, you'll have to imbue a 2nd level spell, even though you've reached the requisite minimum to craft it. If you go to the next day and it's not finished, you'll have to imbue 1 more 2nd level to keep the magic going.
Okay.
Okay.
Understood.
Okay. So, where are we? Yes. Okay. So now we have to roll. So go ahead and roll your professions, please.
How I do? Is that just intellect?
If there is not a button in your actions tab, then
Yeah.
just intellect wouldn't add your proficiency. You know what? I'll just do the math manually. Yeah, if it's not in your actions tab, just roll the base ability.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you have an
Which would be
intelligence,
intelligence.
yeah, if you have an intelligence skill that you're proficient in, you can just do that too.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I
I'll do
clicked
that.
my disguise kit
Yeah.
thing and it had me roll deception, so I'm guessing that's
Yeah.
nice. Sweet.
Okay.
Okay.
Oops. Okay. So you guys are imbuing. I would just recommend doing your just your 2nd levels because you haven't quite reached the material level, so you would need a long rest do the last one the next day. You've
Sure.
used 205 of the materials for the first bag, so you're well on your way to finishing this already.
Hooray!
Sweet.
So far, so good. You want the
Okay.
first one?
No, but thanks.
Oh, okay.
Just doesn't know how to reply to it. He's like, why?
Probably
Like,
a wise idea. I haven't really gotten... Like, it's gonna turn out fine, I'm sure, but it's a little fringy here and a little frayed. Maybe we'll give this one to Darwin.
I knew
Yeah,
it.
he'll like that. I feel like he'll like
It's
that
like,
a lot.
it's gonna go to one of us.
If I gave it to Fidget, she would look at it like, she'd
Yeah.
probably have an eye for quality. If I gave it to Darwin, he'd probably be like, oh my god, thank you.
It's a bag that's endless. I died in one of these.
Oh my god, I can't give it to Darwin. I can't give it to Darwin. He's
Like,
gonna have a
ooh.
fucking flashback.
That's so funny.
Alright, I'll have to think about that.
It's
Fun
fine. This is
fact,
just a
I
trophy
died in one
of
of
your
these.
vengeance against the worm, right?
Yeah,
You killed me, now I'm using you like a fucking bag.
and
You're my
Darwin,
purse now, bitch.
Mhm.
Darwin, if you ever want to face your fear, you can just crawl inside.
No!
Yes, into the void and break my
Oh
ankle.
man, there's just
I
as
know how
little
to
air
make-
in that bag as the worm.
Yeah.
What is
We'll
it, like
attach a rope
3
or
minutes
something.
of air or something at most?
No, that's how long you can
That was
hold your
10.
breath. There's no air
Ah.
in there.
I think I know how to make this less potentially triggering for Darwin. If you'll let me have this after you're done.
Bedazzle it.
Shell, I don't think attaching two googly eyes is really going to do anything.
I'm
That'll
not
do a lot.
attaching. I don't own googly eyes. Why would I own googly eyes?
I mean, you own most everything else. I mean, what are the odds you had a trinket in a drawer somewhere? Like... But, okay, you don't have them. That's fine. We'll pass that joke. Alright, I'm giving up on this scene.
In your defense, googly eyes or bedazzling it would be highly, highly amusing to Darwin.
He was
Yeah.
going to take a Sharpie and crudely draw a dog's face on it. But, like, it's really bad.
Ooh, Shell, that's a great idea. Here, he hands you some dice. Roll for it.
What am I rolling?
No, I'm just...
Artistic ability?
Oh, man.
Wow.
I want to see how
you-
good is this dog face.
You rolling as your character is rolling dice in game is an insane meta level.
Oh, meta. But also, I would like you to know that if it's a very well-drawn dog, I would be very, like,
Offended?
not offended. I would be, like, very touched that you put so much effort into it. But if it's a very poorly drawn dog, I'd be very offended. I'd be like, do you think this is what I look like?
No, this is the limit of Shell's artistic capacity. Don't...
I rolled
So-
22. I'm afraid it might be good.
Shell, I have to ask because you said you were gonna shittily draw on this. Is this your best effort to draw as bad as possible, or is it an actual effort
Man.
to draw
You know,
as
that
good
would
as
be kinda
possible?
funny. Shit. I don't think he'd, like, really put much thought into it other than draw a quick dog face,
Man,
if that makes sense.
this dog
like,
is
get it
looking
done
real
quick and
dog-like.
over.
It's really
it is-
good.
It is
Whoops.
really amusing in a very sweet way that Shell cares enough to even do this.
Yeah, I don't think he understands it either right now. This is
It's
the
like...
most company he's had in a really long... Well, as far as he can remember, I think, aside from parties and such.
Yeah.
Just, like, a consistent company. Outside of work.
It's sweet, and I like it.
Now I have to ask all four of you: do you have any other business to attend to on Monday night?
I wanted to try to get better at prestidigitation.
Oh, right, yeah.
I forgot that was even a thing. You guys had basically spent your downtime doing the bags.
Mhm.
So, unfortunately, that would be going
That's
into
for
the
tomorrow, then.
wee hours of the morning.
Or another day.
Okay.
I'll just wait. We can
Prefer
we can
your
wait
long
until
rest?
after the bags.
Hell, I'm
Yeah.
so tired. I can teach you how to. I can teach you how to make that cup meat flavored later. Let's just go to bed.
I'm sorry, I could not hear what you said.
I
you
heard
can make-
cup
you can-
meat.
Yeah.
Meat flake. You can just put your mouth on the cup and it tastes like meat. Look, I don't understand. I'm tired. It's just how the magic works, man.
Oh, I see. With I see.
Yeah, you can just make things meat
Oh,
flavored,
yeah,
or
I
any
can just
flavor
make
to be
it
fair,
spicy
right?
right now. Not even very spicy, just a little bit spicy.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that it only goes one way and it's less.
Yeah.
Rhea's
Yeah.
like, maybe we could. The world is missing an advanced prestidigitation spell that can allow you to make anything the flavor of whatever you want, and it wouldn't be difficult to do. You just hear her going down the hallway towards like the shower or something.
Yeah. Ryia, make me an Arcana check.
I did want to do spell crafting because I got jealous of Ultra at the end of the last game, so let's see how this goes. Shit.
Womp womp.
You're thinking of like all of the uses for prestidigitation here, and like the thing that you're thinking of.
May I?
Uh-huh.
May I spend a luck point?
Yeah. If this is what you want to spend it on. I will say before you spend it, before you roll,
Mhm.
because we're in downtime. Every week is gonna be like one instance of rest for your abilities.
For my okay, what about my spell slots? Because I thought I had to pour a second level spell slot each day, so if I'm not recovering spell slots each day.
For the purposes of crafting, those will be replenished.
Okay. So in other words, for a week of downtime, I can only use one luck point, even though they restore on a long rest. That's how we're doing it, right?
You restore all of them at the end of the week, basically. So however many
Cool.
luck points you have.
Okay. So was this the start of a week, or was this like still in the middle?
This was
Monday
Monday.
is the start of the week. Yeah.
Okay. So I have
So-
4 luck points currently.
You've used one for Darwin.
True.
Oh yeah, true. Well, that was yesterday, right? And today's the start of a new week.
That
True,
was this is
true.
the same day.
Oh.
Oh,
the same day.
I actually do have a question. In this
Okay.
sense, so let's say, like we said, the luck points restore at the end of the week when we're in downtime. What if in the middle of downtime we have a fight? Am I still shit out of luck, or could I restore my luck points in that sense?
No, I'm gonna ask you to record what you have, and then you'll start the
Uh-huh.
fight with everything.
Cool.
And then when the fight
I like that.
ends, you go back
We'll
to
go
what
back.
you had.
Okay,
understood.
that's nice. Okay, so it's like a separate kind of.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Um,
fun. I
This
like
is so that like during these you during the downtime you don't have 500 luck points during each
Yeah, so you
segment.
can't
I-
cheese
know?
it.
Saying, I just want to manipulate luck to win every time. What's so hard about that?
I feel like during the downtimes there's enough going on per day, or enough little stuff going on per day, that it's not going to be too bite back at you.
Yeah, this makes sense. So, like, if I have a separate instance of an ability, I could use, like, one luck point and then one other ability, right? Just I can't double up on luck points.
What do you
For
mean?
example, okay,
Okay.
so, I have the Clockwork Soul remove advantage or disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
So, can I, for example, since luck and the clock thing are 2 different abilities, could I re-roll and remove an advantage or disadvantage since they're 2 separate things?
Yeah, they just both restore at the end of the week.
Cool, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
I think I understand. In that case, I would love to use a luck point and re-roll that.
Just keep in mind that if you're re-rolling someone else's luck, you probably couldn't, because both of those features require a reaction.
I see.
Right. So you couldn't do it on the same roll. But for
Okay.
yourself, it doesn't require anything. It just you use the pool. So for you, it's
Okay.
free.
Come on, baby. It's statistically likely for me to get something better than a 9. Oh my god. Yeah. I'll just take that.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh
Are you
wait,
sure
I get to choose. I'll take the 15.
Are you sure you don't want to use any more luck?
Can I? I thought you said I couldn't.
No, for you, you can use as many as you want at the same time. For anyone
I'll
else,
use
it's a
another-
reaction, so you can only do one.
I'll use another luck point, sure. That's not good enough, game! Alright.
Just
I'm taking the
increments of
17.
2 or
I'm
3
taking-
every time.
God said it is not time.
That wasn't my decision.
What if you wanted a bag of holding, but God said...
So you're like pondering these thoughts about the prestidigitation spell, right? It's so useful. It goes in so many different things, and it's just like the everything cantrip that you just have to have it. If you don't, like, what are you doing? None of your chores are getting done.
Gotta
With
have
this, everything's just so easy, right? And you're thinking the limitations of the spell are also very basic. But in order to make something more advanced to do the same thing, it would actually require some kind of power. Or maybe you could make a specialized spell that does one or like a couple things really well with the same amount of energy. And then you go into thinking, well, you know, people are making stuff up all the time. What if I make my own series of kitchen cantrips? What if I make my own series of business-related cantrips? What if and then you start devolving into this idea of like, okay, how do I make some money out of this and also have fun?
Fuck yeah, yeah. No, she's fucking, like, right before she goes to bed, coming out of the shower, she got a towel kind of wrapped around her hair, and she's just, like, scribbling in a fucking notebook. It's just like, Wesker's gonna be so glad they didn't write, or, gonna be so upset they didn't write me a better contract. I'm gonna take over the world.
With prestidigitation.
Yeah, if you walked by her room, you'd hear her muttering something about 9th level prestidigitation. She's clearly lost it. Like, she's... I'll make the whole world taste like cotton candy, I swear to God.
Now, what I will say, because this doesn't come up very often, but this is something that I've played with since the beginning, and this was also in Season 1 in various instances. When you have spell power, you can actually afford to just use a spell slot with no particular intended spell. What does this mean? Like, you could expend a level 1 slot and just be like, this is lightning, and just have like a basic lightning conjure. It's not going to do damage, but it's going to have a lightning essence, right?
Right, that makes sense.
And this also goes into like pumping up cantrips. It doesn't really do much because the cantrip itself has a limiting factor to the spell's nature, but you could try and like accelerate one of these prestidigitation things to see if you can even extend it out of the spell and then begin to reduce it down later, right? To expand on this is also the same concept as like, why do creatures in the D&D verse have spells that are not in the spell list? Because they can shape and mold and use magic when they've practiced it enough, right? This is the same concept. You have just a raw piece of magic, and you can begin to shape it in some kind of way or form.
Makes sense.
Yeah. This also, if you guys will remember, is actually a direct translation towards tech classes for you as well, Darwin. So what does this mean? You have a bunch of programs that you can use, right? And when you want to do something, but you don't have a specific program for it, well, you can try to make one up on the spot really quick. Same deal. And that's why I always allow you guys, like, well, you don't have the spell or program for this, but you could try using your skill and see if you can mess or fiddle with stuff to try and get the result.
Like my general programming skill.
Yes.
I like.
So yeah, in this instance where like you're going off and like thinking, why don't they make better prestidigitation shit? What if you did? What if you made it?
I'm gonna make some money. Ryia falls asleep at her desk. Or at a desk that Shell owns.
That she has already somehow managed to like trash or something.
It's you know, stacks of paper here and there. She is drooling a little bit on the desk right now, but what's the worst of it?
A stray hair. What a mess. Michelle looks at it. So messy.
I feel like it would get picked up soon anyway. What with the housekeeping and all.
Yeah, you'll be fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else looking to do something for Monday?
Nope.
Yay. Alright.
I think Zeneca would like message her sister, like if she hasn't heard, just something simple like call me so I know you're alive.
You send that off and look at the text for like a good minute or minute and a half, and there's no read receipt.
It'd be
Concerning.
pooping.
Poops nowadays
Yeah.
and doesn't take their phone.
Yeah.
Sometimes you forget
Yeah.
it.
I think that's kind of it for her. Like, she would have tried to catch up with anything from work that she didn't get done. Yeah. That's kind of it.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty normal. You already understood like going into this first week that it was probably gonna be a pretty harsh week just because of the amount of like jobs that were rolling into the month, and then you know the amount that you couldn't sign off on because of the weekend and all of this stuff. This first week you've accumulated 25,000. Pretty harsh week, but you know it's gonna get better than that.
Pull up my spreadsheet.
It's 1/10 of what you need, basically.
Ew.
Very well. We can move on to Tuesday.
Tuesday, innit?
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
It's really good.
Yeah. So for Ryia and Shell specifically, since you guys are not beholden to going into work every day, you guys could essentially have like a double downtime day, but that's your whole day.
I'm cool with that, yeah.
This is like a real job. You know?
Shell just like looks at her. I don't think he'd be talking during most of this.
I think Rhea's like awkwardly filling the silence. It's just like, no, for real. I mean, like when you're supposed to like, you know, take care of this, or when the boss asks you to kill someone, like he does. You know,
Shell
that's
nods.
yeah, you understand, yeah. And then I think Ryia stops for a second.
Yeah, I think he
And she
does
looks
too.
over at you. Yeah.
Ew.
As they both admitted to being ordered to take lives. I think it's the first time you've heard that Rhea's done anything like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected it. So I think he just kind of stares at her for a second, and then kind of like slowly goes back to it, and then looks back to what he's doing. Like, we didn't just admit that. You don't know what I do.
Yeah, there was yeah, kind of. All right, well, the bag goes together like this.
Inside out.
Now,
Sorry, did you say it was 25,000 this week or just 2,500?
25,000.
Okay.
A tenth of what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was 2,500, that would be danger. That would be
Yeah, that
extreme
would-
danger. 1%?
Um,
That's terrible.
Have we improved our revenue projection?
No, because of the weekend.
Fuck. Alright.
It's a week though, a new one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just to clear that scene up real quick, as you're coming into Tuesday and the full team is here, you're signing off on jobs like almost every 40 minutes to an hour. Like a new thing comes in and you sign off on it. And like the immediacy that people come up to you needing this sign off is like, if we don't do this, we're gonna lose our jobs. Like they're running into the office and like, I need the signature, you know. Which is
And I'm just signing off on everything, saying good luck, don't die.
Basically, yeah, and like you're beginning to understand like why did we need this writer? We didn't care in the first place. No one had the money to even get lawyers. Like we don't fucking need this. We need the job right now. You know, we didn't need the shit. But yeah, like you're starting to understand. Yeah, the nature of this job, everything's just so gray area that you just gotta have to go with it, and. Honestly, the money that you're making is really good, so fuck it. But yes, going back to Shell and Ryia, so you guys have 205 out of the 250 that you need to make one of these bags. In order to finish, you'll need to roll. But I'm curious if both of you are going to add to this as well, or if like maybe just Rhea's gonna finish that first bag and then Shell's gonna help with the second one again. Like, how are you guys gonna tackle this?
What would be most beneficial? That would enable us to complete the bag accurately.
It's hard to say because there is a chance that you don't finish it today. Mm-hmm. So probably the best thing to do is for you to try and finish it on your own and have Shell just start on a new bag with you after that, regardless of what the result is.
Okay.
Because that way the next day, then you can finish it and then do the second bag as well.
Yeah.
The only other thing is that I know Shell wants to try and learn prestidigitation from you. So
oh, right.
That's also a concern on time. Because that's going to be 8 hours.
So let's, I guess maybe let's put the bag on hold. Like, Rhea's grateful for the help when she'd want to reciprocate and making sure that Shell learns the spell.
It could also be like you guys try to learn the spell in the morning and then Shell just helps you at the end just for safety. At the end of the day, right? That's also a thing.
Because double downtime day, I see.
Yeah. It just depends on where each of you are spending those 8 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shell, why don't we hit the ground running in the morning with training for the spell?
Yeah, that sounds good.
And I kind of wanna share with you a story because I'm curious about something. Well, like maybe you take us to like, I don't know, a gym that's in your mansion or something, so we have a lot of space. And Rhea's like flexing her fingers, kind of trying to work them to get him limber, and she says, "You know, the last time I used this spell for work, it was very eventful. Some dude bra type at some sort of convention in a hotel. Boss wanted me to make sure that he was dead. I didn't actually do the killing, I just walked into the room. He was lying on a bed, unmoving. Got a little close and saw the blood and reacted and used prestidigitation to keep it off of my clothes. Seems like it was yesterday."
How nostalgic.
Yeah, I guess that's the difference between us, huh? We might both be working in this field, but you're a professional, aren't you? It's no big deal to you.
It's just work.
think Ryia looks to the ground and chuckles, and she's like, yeah, of course, it's just work. Speaking of work, so, prestidigitation. It helps if you hold your hands like this, and the lesson commences.
I'm sorry he's so quiet and standoffish.
No, it's fine, it's fine. We have something building here. It's fine.
Yeah.
Man, I lost my rules for spell learning. Okay, go ahead and roll your performance check, Shell.
Very well. I see.
There isn't even a taste to pepper anymore. It's just become nothing.
I've made it tasteless.
Mm-hmm.
This is a
now-
ghost pepper.
You now know how to make things tasteless.
I mean, I guess this is a function of the spell.
How did it get worse?
Okay, you clearly understand the fundamentals. It's fine. Don't just ignore the fact that most cantrips are 2 to 3 line formulae, and just, focus on this one. Like, you're gonna get it.
This is bullshit. Stupid fucking spell. I go like storm off to our little craft area we've got going on.
You go down the hall and then you pass by the indoor street that is just constructed inside your penthouse. It seems like your penthouse is just like infinitely growing every day. You pass by the diner that's on the indoor street, and then you go to the craft room.
Indoor street.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. Thanks
All
for
right.
the attempt.
So this will be crafting skills for both of you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Well, that 11 actually was enough.
Oh!
So you will finish the bag. Now, Ryia, since you're the one crafting, you will have to make the finishing touches, as it were. As mentioned before, this is just the finishing DC, so this is just done at the end of your crafting session. It is going to be, for this, a DC 16.
Hey.
Whenever you are ready.
Don't fuck it up.
Ah!
What did I just say?
Can I use a luck point?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, don't want to lose any of those materials. I'm going to use my last luck point.
Okay. I'm very... you just screamed come.
I did! I meant to say come on, but I didn't complete the sentence.
I just want to stress.
It's only Tuesday.
Okay.
Oh no.
Just... That 2 doesn't matter, it just means you didn't finish it today.
Okay.
Anything that's not a 1 is just... No, there's, the stitching right here, it could be a little better. You could, make the inseam just a little bit more presentable. You're making finishing touches. So that's going to be you two for the day. Not Shell. Darwin and Zeneca. Are you guys doing anything specific today? No.
Anything to get more money.
So you're just doing your job. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to text Karen.
Aaron.
Yeah, Karen.
Oh.
Bobanthony's whatchamacallits?
Neighbor?
Neighbor. Yeah. Every time I forget a word, I don't always think table separator now.
Window spy. Table separator?
Window spy. Adjacent living person. Damn it, what was I talking about?
You don't have her
um,
number, I believe. You gave her your card.
We didn't exchange info? I thought I gave her, like...
You gave her your card to call you if she finds anything out, but she didn't give you her number.
Darwin didn't think this through. I suppose the focus will be helping Seneca today. In
Helping
order
Seneca.
You mean actually
Yeah.
doing your job for
to... well, you know... yes. That's all. Yes.
Darwin, do you have proficiency in any intelligence skill? If so, what is it?
I have technology and knowledge.
You use your... you don't use intelligence for those.
I don't?
What do you use?
Oh no, no, those are programming. I apologize. You do use intelligence for those. You know what? Okay. Because Darwin has a proficiency in knowledge, just a general knowledge, Zeneca, you will roll an advantage. Because he's actually helping you. I will also make this a knowledge roll. And I want to be clear that Darwin is helping you. Because you're the quote-unquote boss right now.
What am I rolling for?
Knowledge, to see if you can get any extra business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is it at advantage then?
Yes.
Or are you... Okay.
I have investigation, if that's...
Nah. Oh my god, the 8.
Oh.
Wow.
Pretty average day.
Oh,
For average
88.
business. For average people.
At least it's not below.
True.
Not a nat 1. I'm not losing money today.
Exactly. Like, it could have been so much worse.
I know.
You could have been Ryia.
Could have been lawsuits.
In Barksville,
Nah. What are the odds?
astronomically
Less
low.
than 8?
1, 3, 5, 7.
You'd have to get like a negative
Michelle,
2.
please.
On Yelp?
No, on a skill check.
Yeah. It's like someone knocks on your door. It's like, yes, are you fidget? Or fucking wrong character. It's like, I'm sorry, but we're gonna need you to.
You got served 10,000 years in the future.
Under the Stargazer.
This is how it is in Los Kaidos.
Yes.
I did that on purpose.
Los Gyogen.
Los Gogen.
Norkigan?
Nyorko
That's the one.
Kaidos.
Norco
Kaidos.
Kaidos. Ooh, that's a good one!
Norkidos?
Nyorkaidos.
Norco Kaidos.
Oh, we're just mixing everything up now. Do you guys do anything
Sorry,
after
guys.
work?
If I wasn't so broke and needing to like save all my money to pay back Shell, I'd say we'd go for a drink, but
What kind of world do we live in where we can't afford a drink with coworkers?
She just needs to get to the end of this month and she'll be rolling in dough.
Again. Yeah.
I haven't been paid yet, so
Oh, yeah, that's true. Shit.
That part's actually not my fault because we're in charge of payroll.
I mean, I
Just
could
right.
give myself an advance, but that might look bad.
That
Just
would've fared
throwing that
bad,
out there. Yeah.
Second week on the job, I'm already giving myself free money.
Security would be in there in like minutes. We found suspicious activity.
Oh no, and then I have to do my job after that?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I love this. Darwin avoiding his job, Shell wishing he had a job to do because he's waiting on info still.
This is like the start of a college entrance essay. The duality of man.
It's very funny.
Do you guys do anything after work? I suppose that's a no.
Yeah.
Okay. Darwin, Kara does text you today and says, I had a good time yesterday. Thanks for dinner.
I text back immediately and said I also had a wonderful time.
I like the qualifier of immediately. Just goes to show our
Darwin,
experience, huh?
Play no games here.
Yeah, I also
No.
like the specifier.
Not playing no games here. Not gonna leave himself open to any of the. You already know what I'm talking
The games?
about. The games. And ask if she wants to perhaps see each other again next week.
Yeah, she texts you back as well. What are you thinking? My treat this time.
Oh, I'm going to suggest a place that's very close to Bobanthony's apartment.
Oh my god.
Darwin, you are devious.
That's
So-
spicy.
Just to be clear, you're suggesting somewhere in Barksville.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, does she not like a place in Barksville? She's gonna have to get used to it because that's where I live. So
She could never. Well, no, she probably could.
It's just not the most like activity dense place. But you could definitely have dates in Barksville.
what is trying to think
Dinner
of
date. Bowling.
trying to think of it. If you don't love me at my Barksville, you don't deserve me at my cloud top.
Cloud top. Yeah, there we go. Fucking get that tattooed, baby.
Just because you're from Barksville doesn't mean you don't know the rest of the city.
If you,
You
don't
know?
love me at my Barksville. You heard it.
Like if you look at like the southeast sector in Nightfall, there's like a really famous huge arcade over there. There's 405 Street, which is like a night market road area. Right, these are places that are all like part of the thing. Now, definitely you could stay in Barksville. She doesn't have a problem with the district itself, but again, it's not like it's like the difference between like an old town mall and like
yeah, I'm imagining it's somewhat of like a hole in the wall. It's still like really good food, but it's just like, not
Yeah.
like
could have
super
dates out
fancy
in the country.
restaurant.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just not like a mall. It's just kind of like a plaza with a bunch of shops.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like you maybe walk into the building and you can see the kitchen directly in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like very like quaint.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Cheap, quaint, and good.
Yeah, she definitely says she would definitely text you back. And what did you suggest? Just a dinner somewhere near Bobanthony's place?
Yeah, either yeah, dinner I think would be okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say lunch, but that's in the middle of the workday.
We do a lunch, but it's only gonna be an hour, right? Yeah, she says, sure, I'll be there 6:30 Monday. And there it is.
Okay.
Another day passes. It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Hey.
And before we get into the activities of Wednesday, because we're in full downtime right now. We're in full
We are.
downtime mode. Let's go and take
We're
a break.
getting through it.
Yeah, this is the cozy session. You know, this is the cozy
Yeah.
session. right, we'll be back in about 10 minutes, folks. Get some more popcorn and pee. Bye. Be right back.
I don't want more pee.